right, let's see here. Yo, how we doing? What's cooking? Not much. Actually, hold on here. I need to grab an API key off this laptop because we were actually doing some finally getting your money's worth. Yeah, Anders yelled at me for not streaming for so long because he felt like he wasn't getting his money's worth, so gotta make it worth it for him. All right, hodl. I need to do this. That's not what I want. Here we go. Oh my god. Can't log into my password manager. All right. So we are actually going to try to experiment with building something for Vercel for domain search. Oh my god, dude, I don't know. Dude, my DJ picked it. I didn't pick this. Awfully bold of you to assume I'm a straight man as well. Don't typecast my DJ like that. I am back from the domain cave. It's true. All right. Let me grab this, throw this into my 1Password. 1 second. Justine's gone. All right, there we go. All right, that should be good there. And then I can come over here. We'll download that because I haven't used this computer in like a month. What was Shaw? Also, after working for you a year, I can say that you're for sure painfully straight. Wow. Wow. Let's see here. New dash session, and we'll just say SQLite sync.
Speaks the gospel of the camel. I speak the gospel of the dunes.
Thanks,
the sand is in my veins. Come ride a camel with me today.
S SQLite sync. There we go. Let's see here, make dir, and we'll say SQLite sync, and we'll do a little
Speaks
button
the gospel of the
here.
camel. I speak the gospel of the dunes. The sand is in my veins. Come ride a camel with me today.
Y'all, thanks, Bashal. All right, let's see here. I want to go grab the API docs for name.com, and we're gonna build a mechanism for figuring, oh God, I'm sorry, it's so bright. Hold. We don't need this. I just want the API documentation. There we go. We want this endpoint right here. Is download premiums list. If I could ever click it. Oh, it's already up over here. So we basically want to stream this file. You hit this endpoint, they give you an S3 link that is zipped. And then we want to stream and filter that. Stream and filter that to disk and hopefully to a SQLite database that we can sync. All right. Can I copy this as curl? All right, let's come in here. We're gonna do a little touch.envarc action. We're gonna do a dir env allow. We're gonna vim into our envarc. If I could get my keyboard right. What's up, Cyprian? vim.envarc, and we want export username equals that, and then we want a, oh my god, I have so much stuff to update here. All right, this will be token. API token, do that. And then I'm going to blur quick. I have this token, even if I leak it, only set to my IP address, so it's like not the worst thing in the world. Writing some unit codes from it, nice. Let's come here, unlock that. I want that, close that. And then I want to come down here, put that there. All right, dir and allow. Okay. So theoretically, there's a tool to convert OpenAPI to TypeScript. There's certainly a tool for that. Convert open, yep, this is what we want. Get started. Oh yeah, I forgot about the Hey API thing. Do we think this is the best one? Yeah, it's the same one, right? Here's the Hey API one. 3.3K stars versus 7.4K stars. Let's try this one since we tried the other one last time. So let's yoink these. We'll do a little bun I dash these nuts. I could probably upgrade bun. Bun, is it upgrade? I know it has, man bun. Aw, dude, that's so disappointing that they don't have a man file for bun. Bun dash dash help. Upgrade. There we go. Nice. Not a fan of CodeGen. I love CodeGen. CodeGen's great. Why don't you like CodeGen? Dude, I had this sick setup at one company I worked at where we wrote protobuf files, and then from protobuf files we CodeGen'd API endpoints in OCaml. We generated OCaml types. We generated encoders and decoders for protos in OCaml. And then on the other side, we generated React query hooks and Zod schemas and TypeScript, all from a protobuf file. It was sick. Did I install these? That happened? Okay. So then let's go grab the API schema, which should be where is it? I just want the API spec. Do we want the JSON or the YAML? Probably doesn't matter, right? Does this thing care? Oh, I can point it at a remote schema. All right, let's try that. We'll do bunx open API dash TypeScript. And then the remote is going to be over here. We can yoink copy link address. And then we can do -o, and we'll say /schema .d.ts. That feels like it kind of worked. Schema. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I'm working on some app right now, and I might actually use some CodeGen. Nice. What up, Mizzy? I'm doing well. How are you? All right, so we've got all this. This looks good so far. Okay, so we need open API fetch. Create client. Paths. Okay, so we need to install that now. Bun. Add. Open API fetch. Great. So let's go into index, and we should be able to do import create client. Hold on, I need to do a get init. And now that should help in here with those paths. Create client. Why is it still trying to go to? And we want import type paths from /schema, and then we should have our client. Create client paths. Base URL is going to be, let's see here, base URL, grab that, throw that in there, and then we should be able to do something like client dot get. Let's try this. We'll do a then console.log and a console.error We can await that. This probably needs headers. Credentials. I always forget how to set up this. Yeah, I have the same keyboard. He also promised me I would have less to do at work. Well, you know, we're getting there. We're getting there. How do I do this? What is it? How do we use basic auth fetch JS example, username, password. All right, that's what we want. So we want headers, and this is going to be authorization. Let's see if this fails quick. Bun index. All right, great. That's what we want. And then we can do a little process.env action. Const username equals process.env. You can throw in here username. Paste this. This will be API token. API token. Y. And then we can say this is going to be basic. Change that. And then this will have BTOA. And then this will have another string on the inside, and we'll have that. So the username colon API token.
Describe the world.
What we do wrong, chat? That closes there. That closes there. That closes there. That closes that. That closes that. What up, Look? It's good to be back. I've been so busy. Ah, that doesn't close. Why is this so hard? All right, we're just going to change there. So we close that, we close that, we close that. Y, close that. There we go. All right. Great. Great, great, great. We have welcome to the core API of name.com. So then we should be able to get the premium domains list. We want this guy right here. Something like that. That's what we do, dude. We gotta keep you on your toes, Anders. This is a GET request. Changing this core. There we go. This is what we want. Let's download that. And that should give us a S3 link. And then let's fetch that. All right. So we're gonna actually go put this file in my own S3 to test here. Yeah, we can put it in budget sync, that's fine. So it's gonna make an S3 bucket. What is this? CSV upload? I don't even remember what this is for. In July, 5 megs. I have no idea what that is. Whatever, we're gonna make another bucket. Premium domains list. Sure. Versioning multiple. Okay, that's fine. Using an S3 bucket key. Whatever, good. It's true, John. It really is. All right, let's see here. List. Do we think that downloaded correctly? Do -h premium. Part of me feels like that didn't actually unzip, unzip, premium. All right, we probably have to put this in quotes. wget s3 file. I probably did this wrong. No, I did that right. All right, hold on here. It's probably because I didn't use quotes. Remove that wget save as different named file. Okay, that's probably what we want to do, but like we can probably move. All right, it's 15 megs. Premium list.csv.zip. And then if we do unzip premium list. All right, we're inflating that. Okay, this looks good. How's Healing Browser? I only used it a little bit yesterday. I just need spaces, dude. I don't even care about horizontal tabs. Being able to have a work and personal space in the same browser is so nice. It's the only thing I care about. Do.h. How big do we think this file is? 1.8 gigs. Let's look at this file in Vim. Spaces are so good. I wish there was just like a chromat one to like emulate them. Okay, so we basically want to put this file, the goal is have this file in S3, and then I want to be able to stream this from S3. I want to be able to stream this from S3 to disk and write it to SQLite as I stream it. That is like the goal. Do I have Claude installed here? I don't. I'll go to Claude. How can I stream a .zip CSV from S3 and row by row, and let's just say map/update each row while streaming and write to disk to another CSV. Yeah, there's like you see in this file right here, there's like this aftermarket. So we don't sell, it's the registration type. We don't sell aftermarket domains on for sale right now, and probably not ever, because it's just a pain in the ass and kind of like a shady thing. And it would create way more work for Anders. No, TypeScript dog. Yeah, we'll probably use effect. I mean, we're going to use effect for this. I'm just trying to figure out the approach first. All right, so creates a read stream. The hard part is like, I don't know. So we have what is unzipper? Unzipper? I hardly know her. Do we think this works? Row mapper. So basically what we want to do is we want to filter out every single row that is not registration. We're lagging. The file's too large. And then once we have that streamed, I'm debating about using Terso. I don't know if Terso is going to be quite right, or just libsql. Where is it? Because what I really want is like this embedded replica, this thing. Do not open the local database while the embedded replica is syncing. In certain contexts, such as serverless environments without a file system, you can't use embedded replicas. Okay, that's fine. Oh, hey, look, it worked. So we have all these registration types. What is our total row count right now? What is that? WC-L. I'm pretty sure that's the so what is that? 34 million lines? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 34 million domains in there. So if we come in here and we delete out everything that's not let's see, how can I target this? We want to say G percent G slash star comma, I guess it'd be dot star comma dot star comma registration slash D. Think that will delete all of the lines I want. Thanks, Roasted. Appreciate it. I still don't know if this is quite what I want. It's possibly what I want. The other thing is Lightstream. Actually, I wonder how long it takes to sync. Sync with Terso Cloud. Terso's on our marketplace. Terso provides, so this is why I'm interested in libsql, is because it lets you remotely connect to SQLite databases and sync them. I wasn't even listening to what the DJ said. Sync offline. What does offline do? That's what I need to figure out what offline does. Libsql core, source, config, offline. It's gonna end up just getting passed through to. It's gonna get passed through to the CLI, I bet. File memory. Okay, yeah, that doesn't do anything there. Enable offline writes. This is what I want. This looks like it's just types. Client, source, SQLite T3. Let's see if there's anything about offline in here. There we go. Where does options go? It goes into the database. Database comes from libsql. We want to get to libsql then. Terso. No, I want your repositories. I want libsql. I want to see what this is doing under the covers. We want this. Can I filter this by language? Maybe not. Is this thing still running over here? I think I froze Neovim. There's got to be a libsql TypeScript over here. Maybe libsql JS. Maybe. Yeah, this is what we want. So in here, yeah, that's the semantics I want, is I want writes to happen locally. So are they writing bindings to Rust in here? Is that what's happening? Or is this just creating a pass-through to native bindings? Yeah. I see. Generated by Nappy. All right, we can go look at the Rust code. Doesn't even look like offline's here. Timeout, auth token, read your writes. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. It's interesting. So like we see under so these are just binary builds. Where was that source? Here we go. Not in there. So that seems like it might not be ready then. Offline might not do anything for the TypeScript version. We can look at this too. All right, so this one does have offline. libsql with OpenSync. That's a func there. We read your writes. Offline, C libsql. Yeah, it's just going through to bindings. Offline. Yeah. So we would really want to go actually look at libsql itself. So we were in the right place. NeoVim is just cooked over here, trying to delete all these lines. I should have done that with awk instead. Nailed it. The SQL. Lib squeal. Source. Replication. Maybe. Okay. Local client. One thing I'm worried about with this is like, I don't think this will handle multiple local replicated clients running in offline mode and then trying to sync. I think that will cause corruption if I remember correctly reading the docs. Edit replicas. See, this is like, this right here is like what I don't particularly want. Any write transaction with reads are also set to remote. Once the write is successful, the local database is updated with the change automatically. Read your writes. What up, Jacob? Alright, I need to like fix NeoVim over here because that clearly didn't work. Let's go back into that Vim premium list. Delete it. The file's too large. NeoVim is choking on a 1.8 gigabyte CSV. Let's see if we actually cut it down at all. We did not. We need a command to, okay, here we go. It's gonna work. I don't think it's gonna work. awk/seg command to delete. Hey, maybe we'll be all right. We want not. We want nvim g/command to delete rows that don't match. G bang. So we're going to come here. So then we can get rid of the %. All right, let's try running that again. I think I just froze it again. RIP. Maybe this will work. The other thing we can try is Lightstream. Lightstream might be able to sync. It says, without changing the application, it takes over the write-ahead log checkpointing process to continuously stream database updates to an S3 compatible object store. That's what we want. If something happens to the server, the app is running on, the whole database can be efficiently restored to a different server. Lightstream works well, so we got ambitious a few later. We built LightFS. Light file system takes the ideas in Lightstream and refines them so we can do read replicas and primary failovers. Yeah. Run Lightstream against your SQLite, it opens up a long-lived read transaction. This transaction arrests SQLite's WA checkpointing, the process by which SQLite consolidates the wall back into the main database. Lightstream builds a shadow write-ahead log that records the write-ahead log pages and copies them to S3. Compare and swap as a service. Part of the point of Lightstream is that SQLite applications don't have to be aware of it, but Lightstream is just a process running alongside the application. It can die independent. If Lightstream is down, it'll miss changes. That's okay. This doesn't need to be perfect. See, Anders, Lightstream could possibly work. There's a couple options here. Basically, what I want is I want to have a this is somewhat out of date, but I want, actually this might even still be close. This is close to how our caching works. It's definitely grown. Read cache L1, cache hit is still resolve request, resolve request. We come over here, root zone check. Is it available? Yeah, this isn't quite right anymore. This is close to how our caching works. But what I really want is, let's say, premium SQLite cache. So for Vercel domains, we just released, right? Go to here, Vercel.domains, fastest domain search on the web. You just come in here, SQLite, boom, super fast, right? You'll see under the covers, like when this comes back as premium, we have a big chunky list of a ton of known premium domains like ahead of time. That's just like CSV that Neovim is choking on right here. And right now, if we look at, actually, if we go back to the cache, you'll see that part of this flow, like down here, does the TLD support premium? This known premium TLD path. This is where like we hit, like this path right here would be like hitting SQLite. But this file updates every day and gets mounted from S3 to the pod's file system when the pod starts up. I would like, perfect world 1 is every time we see a premium domain that's not in our known list, because we don't have premium data for every TLD, I would like to write to that SQLite and have it recorded forever. other perfect world is I've replaced Redis, our L2 cache, here completely with SQLite. And then we store every domain we ever see forever and always into SQLite. That would be the end goal. And it seems like Terso could possibly be a good option, or this Lightstream. I don't know how Lightstream does with... I just need like more tutorials. Lightstream tutorial. What makes domains premium? It's a great question, John. It is completely arbitrary. Oh, we have one from Aaron Francis. In fact, I should actually message Aaron Francis. That would be a good resource, now that I think about it. Okay. Here, we'll look at this. This is like basically what I want. Because I really actually don't care about my pods syncing data. Like syncing can like happen. Syncing, in the case that we use it to replace Redis, syncing would be important, but the case where it's just the premium domains, it wouldn't. All right, I didn't finish answering your question, John. Premium domains. Right, so all these things with premium. Every TLD registry, so like .club, .ai, .diy, .dealer, each of these TLD registries manages like basically an address book of their domains. And they get to say up front which of their domains are premium. So .cricket decided at some point SQL was going to be premium, and they set the price arbitrarily at, what is this, $437? But if we looked at like, what was it, .cricket? Like normal base price for .cricket is $27. So they specifically said, okay, SQL.cricket's going to be premium, and we're going to charge $437 for it. And there's like no way of like deterministically knowing premium domains without like this list. So this list that we have, that we're looking at over here, this 1.8 gigabyte list, hold on, let me get distinct values of third column, or is it the third column? Head, premium, second column. Get distinct value of second column of CSV. They don't ever become non-premium. That's one thing that doesn't change, is like once it's premium, it will always be premium. It's just that the price can update. Like prices rarely change, but they change enough that we have to sync this file. Right now, this file is not being synced. So like the premium data that we have in prod right now is stale by like a week, but like under 100 premium domains have changed since we shipped last week. So like it's not a huge deal. Like it's a huge egg chase for like, I think after I filter this, there's 16 million domains in the file, and like 100 out of 16 million, right now we just have to live with the edge case that someone might hit that one of those random pieces of stale data until I build this thing. Bash, not Python. Will that work? Explain this. Split each line on commas and keep only the second field. Okay, this might actually work. So it's cut dash D. I've never even used the cut dash D dash, so comma, dash F2, and then sort dash U. So premiums, pipe, sort dash U. So this will tell us all of this second column here is the provider or the registrant operator. Yeah, basically, Vafi. I think that's the right plan here. All right, let's see here. All right, so these are all the providers we have. I actually want to get the distinct TLDs too. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. This will tell us all the TLDs that we have known premium data. So basically for every item that comes out of this right here, we know every premium domain for. Man, I've never used the cut command before. That's pretty sick. Only the second field. Split each line on commas. All right, so for all these TLDs, we know every premium domain. So that's like a decent list. Let's actually like pipe that into word count and see how many that is. This will tell us, hopefully, it'll have to be -1. Cut out the header, but all right, let's get back to looking at Lightstream here. Wow, glad Dark Reader is working. Annoying. So 503. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. I just use Claude Code right now, but I am actually a big fan of Kimi K2. It feels really good in cut my CSV into pieces. Premium domain achieve very premium. Bravo. All right. Single in a single file. Yeah, lightweight and fast. Local development, no ease. The magic of Lightstream, continuous replication, backup and restore. SQL's write ahead log. See, the thing I want to know is if this is going to work with multiple, if I like deploy to different regions, can this handle multiple writers is my question about Lightstream. I guess we'll try to ask ChatGPT. We'll do extended thinking. Can Lightstream handle multiple pods writing to a single S3 SQLite source? And we'll do a web research. The other tools I was also looking at potentially using Johannes's local first thing. Live store could work potentially if we wrote a sync layer. What I like about live store is that it forces you, we would have to write our own backend here, which is actually what we started doing last time on stream. We started writing a Vercel backend, which maybe we'll finish that this week. If we could handle this and just have it write to S3, The other thing that isn't perfect about live store for my use case yet is that the entire database has to fit in memory. And like, while this one's not horrible, like I can get the SQLite database with like 16 million domains down to like 700 megs uncompressed after it's vacuumed. Like if I ended up using it for the larger use case, it would be difficult. SQLite 3. All right. We want to now, what do we want to do here? Cut, sort. All right, so now I want a bash command to delete all rows of CSV, excluding the header row, where the third columns, is it the third column or the fourth column? Head, name, provider, registration type, third, where the third column's value is not registration. So this will delete all the aftermarket domains from this giant file. So yeah. What is NR? Number of records. Start at 1. Okay. How the explain the entire, I need to like improve my awk skills. Like I wish I could just like whip out an awk script off the top of my head. Explain the entire script. Command. The expression enclosed in single quotes ensures treated as a single argument to awk. Checks if the current record number is equal to 1. It's true for the first line. If this condition is true, the entire line is printed to output. This is the logical or it allows for either condition. So it just knows how to work with columns. So awk just knows how to deal with columns naturally. Okay. Well, hold up here. Why didn't it tell us to do... Oh, it'll default to comma. All right, so theoretically we should be able to do awk nr equals 1, or where's the $sign? $3 equal, is that double equals registration, and then we'll pipe that. This comes from premium domain list, and we'll pipe that into output.csv. Yo, call me a bash wizard. Why did this switch to GPT-4? I want model Kimi. Yeah, Kimi K2 is definitely one of my favorite models I've been using, especially for just like general stuff. This is taking forever. All right, well, that's still running. Sync arch. Can we open this? View. Can I just view this in TL draw? Whoa, that's not what I wanted. All right. In memory SQLite. Ah, that's the piece that, okay. Session sync processor. Yeah, what I really like, maybe I'll try to contribute to Live Store and I'll talk with Johannes and see what it would take to merge conflicting. It's almost what I need. It's so close to being what I need. If this could handle a file-based SQLite, and if it let me deal with merge conflicts, this would be about perfect. We could also potentially build a sync provider to Terso too, but that would, I would rather. Needs to go to S3. The other one is possibly Jazz Tools. Anselm's awesome. If you guys haven't ever interacted with Anselm or Jazz Tools, this is basically what I want. It's so funny that I haven't dealt with any sync engines or local sync stuff, and I found myself in a situation now for work where it could actually potentially make sense. All right, this just ran. I don't think Jazz is quite right. I'll have to talk to Anselm. Let's see here. If we do do-h on the premium list, we'll see that that's 1.8 gigs. And if we do do-h on output, also 1.8 gigs. Sus. That doesn't seem right. I should have nanoed this. All right. Yeah, so it's still there. Dang it. So that awk command didn't work. Why? So we want to look for a row that has that, and then it's a comma, dot star, comma, and then regis. Do we have any? Yeah, registration. That command didn't work. We want to match columns like it does use commas as delimiters. What? All right, whatever. We're gonna copy this and we'll quit and we'll do this again. And this will be premium. All right, I'll be right back, chat. Do I need to be right back? Yeah, I need to go talk with Justin quick. I'll be right back. All right, no more chair stream. All right, so let's see if this worked now. If we do head output, that looks better. We can see the registration types, and we should see if we run our do command and give it human readable, 880 megabytes. All right, that's better. Let's vim output. That cut a lot compared to the whole file. Actually, I want to also run the word count -L on output. So we went from, so that's 17 million versus, I think it was 34 million. All right, so we cut about half of the file. What's interesting is that number is, yeah, I need to get this synced. All right. Short, can Lightroom handle multiple? Fuck. Lightroom is single writer. It treats S3 as a replica destination, not a shared database. You can write to if multiple pods replicate into the same bucket you can break. To run one stateful set with replicas 1. All right, how can we do this? Hold on. I have an idea. I was on the other team. Dang it. Oh, I might be okay. I might be okay. Give me single sign-on. Aha. All right, I might be able to turn this on, chat. I just need to make sure I'm not gonna leak a token here. Yeah, I'm not. Okay.
Functions describe
All
the
right.
world.
So we have a Terso instance we could play around with. It's in US West 2. Right, sync storage, 9 gigabytes, 2.5 billion, million, that should be fine. We can try this. What would this look like in practice? Because I don't want to, let's see here. Let me look at, let's go back to our like Scala draw. What is this? When was I working on a The hell was this? I don't even know what this is. Open. I don't. Oh, I'm not logged in. It must be over in the other tab. Yeah, it is. Here we go. Ah, too bright. We can do it in here. Keep it all in this one file. All right. We'll come over here. So let's say we have this. I'll say this is going to be pod. Actually, we can copy this. Delete that. Delete that. I want you. Let's move this over here. And I want everything that's in that. And we're going to move this over here. Move this. Because this is kind of what we want, right? Can I group this stuff? Yeah, there we go. All right. What is it? H. Don't know what that is. Just deleted that. All right, we scroll in here. We have this premium domains SQLite database in each of our pods, and we have to have like some remote somewhere, right? Like today, this is S3, right? So let's just say, in fact, we can just like copy this again. I'll say this is S3. I don't know why this is gray. This will be S3. And we'll move this over and we'll make a second pod, right? We have 2 pods running. That's what we try to keep our scale at, is 2 pods, which is kind of remarkable, to be honest. And then we have like this S3. And today what happens is this premium domains database never gets updated, but that's what we're solving right now. So we want to basically come in here and we can do a little like we go from here to here, and then we'll do the same thing. That syncs to there. And this is sync db on pod start. Same thing over here. Sync db on pod start. And then there is currently no writes. That's not what we want. There are currently, there we go. I knew something was off. There are currently no writes to premium domains.db in the pods. We would like to write all seen premium domains that don't exist in premium domains.db and sync it back to remote/S3 and make available for other pods. So our options, possible solutions. We have libsql/terso. We have Lightstream, /lightfs. Lightfs might be more than I want to deal with, but we'll look into it. We could also write new premiums to Redis stream or set and process with cron. That seems like it might be the easiest depending on remote S3. What's my go-to Postgres host? I would use PlanetScale. Morning, y'all. So then let's drop down here and we'll say lib squeal /terso. Pros, we'll start with pros. And then we'll say cons. And a con is, it is alpha software. Writes must go to remote and back to read first for read your write. Questions. How long would it take to sync the full DB on pod startup? Can it handle multiple? I guess it can. Pros, handles syncing /remote /conflicts for us. Can you somehow make it event-based? The remote listens to pod updates and pod listen to remote updates? Possibly. And like the nature of the data is that like it's not super important that if we just use it for premium data, it's not super important that pods share their rights. Like that's okay. Like let's say this pod gets a bunch of connections that come in and it sees like 3 new premium domains that aren't in this. Like it's not super important that those domains then get cached over here immediately, because like the odds of another user searching for a domain, the same domain, it's just like we can, having stale data, like we can have really stale data and it's okay in our cache. Like here, I'll make this more concrete. Let's say that like SQL.global isn't in our SQLite database, right? So it is not in here. So when we see SQL.global today, that gets cached in Redis. So like if now Vafi opens up vercel.com/domains and types in SQL, Vafi's going to get this cache result, right? Like this is sitting in Redis, just chilling. What would be nice though is eventually that will expire from Redis, right? That has a TTL on it. I don't remember the exact semantics for premium, but that will have a TTL on it. It would be nice to be able to write that back to this premiums domain. So like actually, to be even more clear, for these premium badges to get here, the flow of data is like, is the domain available? Can the domain be premium? If it can be premium, do we know for the TLD? So for like .global, is .global one of the TLDs in our database? If it is, check SQLite. If it's not, then we go do a live availability check. So hitting SQLite is a bajillion times faster than doing an API call to resolve real premium status. So if we could start putting every premium domain into SQLite, we basically get like 01 on premium, which is the goal. And then if this like works really well, we can eventually replace Redis with just a chunky SQLite database that syncs to the pod. And like Terso might be that, because like 16 million domains. What happens? SQLite convert. I want Kimmy. Why is this not? Can I change my default model? Chat settings. Kimmy, please. Yeah. SQLite 3 from CSV. Okay, so if we come over here, we can do SQLite 3, and then we can do mode CSV, and then we do import output dot CSV to known premium domains. And we need to do dot dash dash skip. If your CSV has headers, you can skip them. Skip one. See, that's not what I wanted, actually. Let me delete that database. Did that actually make anything? I don't think I ended up writing it. No. So let's go back into SQLite 3. .mode CSV. Can it use the column names for, can it use the CSV column names for DB column names? How's your experience with Communicate 2? Good. Vafi asks, is it possible to handle what Redis does when TTL is over? If possible, maybe once TTL is over, it can be written to SQLite. I don't think I can, like, I don't think that, well, maybe, I'm not sure. Does Redis have like a, we could use Dynamo. Dynamo has really low read latencies. When the TTL pops, that is actually not the worst idea, Vafi. Maybe Redis does that. Can you like, can you cause a expired key to go into like a stream or a set in Redis? All right, so we should just be able to do dot import, and then it'll be output dot CSV. known premium domains. That's so nice that you can do this with SQLite. We'll have to put an index on the name too. Okay. Yeah, I was at SQLconf. Can you react to a Redis TTL? I don't think I can like react to Redis expire events. That might work. Although this is a... Oh my god. Redis expire event notification. Key space. One second.
Functions
What's up?
describe the world.
I can't find really.
Okay, hold on. All right, chat. I have to go call my mom. So maybe we can use this. We could expire. What could we do? We would need it to like invoke a lambda. I'm not sure that's right either. Or we would, yeah, this probably isn't gonna be right. No, this is still arc right now. But I have to call my mother, so let me find someone to raid, and I'll be back tomorrow. and hopefully start streaming somewhat regularly until my wedding. And then I'll be off for a week again. We can raid Prime. Wait, did it raid? Is it gonna raid? Here we go. All right, chat. We'll be back tomorrow.